Alright, welcome to vlog number 7 in this quest of magic. Here I've got rope instead of cards. This is a pretty big step up for me. And this trick is called Professor's Nightmare. It was taught to me by Nancy Frankel while she was in full clown gear. It was pretty something. But it goes like this. I have 3 ropes, all of different lengths. I am going to try to do a pretty clever little rope trick-like thing with them, in which I fold all these ropes up, kind of in half, so that instead of holding just one part of them, I've got all of the ends all clustered together here. I'm going to take half of them, and then when I yank them, they're all the same length. Quite remarkable. I've got 1, I've got 2, and I've got 3, all ropes of the same length. But I don't like uniformity because I'm a Parker kid, so then I take them apart. And they are once again all the same length. Nope, all different lengths. That's the end of the trick. And this is, again, remarkably simple, but also requires some clever hand motions. So I don't know whether to categorize this in the criminally simple or sleight of hand. I'm leaning more towards the sleight of hand. But it goes as such. You have your 3 ropes all stacked up nice and neat. Hold on. It goes here. They go in this order. Medium, short, long. No, it doesn't even really... Yeah, no, it does. When you fold up the short rope, you twist it around the long rope and bring it up next to it, so that the 2 of them look like this, with short rope folded around this one. So now you've got the 4 in your hand, the 4 ends. You bend up the long rope, so now the short and the long rope are connected like that. Yeah, but you don't do that here. So now you got the 5, and this rope right here is the middle rope. This doesn't have any kind of clever changing to it, it just hides the other 2. So that when you pull them out, here, I'll do that slower, you set them up so that you've got all the 6 ends, and these 3 are in fact the 2 ends of the long one and the medium one, and here you've got the 2 ends of the short one and 1 end of the medium one, so that when you yank them apart, you're actually doing this. The trick is that the medium rope is the same length as the short rope and the long rope linked together when you grab them. When I want to demonstrate that they are, all the same length, I hold them like this, being careful to hold my fist around the knot. You gotta be careful with your hand placement when you pull them out. Make sure your fist is naturally covering that part. And then for the demonstration that you've got 3 silver ropes, with your 2 fingers, you grab the medium rope and show it. It's all there. With your 2 hands, your 2 fingers here, you let go of this one with your little pointer fingers as you grab onto these 2 with your thumb and index, and yank them up together, hiding the knot with your hand, and you don't pull one end of the rope because that kills the illusion. And then you have the last one, so that you can show, well, that you've got them all separate and they're all the same length, and then you crumple them up and pull them back out, because a transformation is no fun if you can't change it back. There is a continuation to this, wherein you try to convince the audience that you've turned them all into a loop. That's another clever holding strategy. I don't know it well enough to demonstrate it. I'm working on it in the Mark Wilson course, so that will probably be one of the next tricks that I put on this little log. But yeah, that's Professor's Nightmare. It's easy, it's fun, really impressive to children in particular. Yeah, I've used it for a lot of kids I babysit, and they get really excited. I think the trick of this one is a little bit more sleight of handy, that it's a lot of disguising motions to look natural by setting up the patterns that you're doing. So hold on. The folding over is kind of concealed in the fact that you're doing it all 3 times with all 3 ropes. So there's a little bit less suspicion that, oh, she's tying weird knots. It's just, no, that's part of the setup for the trick. She's gonna do the magic part later. This is actually one of the things that Apollo Robbins demonstrated with the curving motion, that you follow the hand that's moving, not necessarily the fingers that are gripping, because those are stationary. You're following the overall arc, not the way things are being gripped. So there's a lot of understanding how people watch motion and kind of capitalizing on what they're not looking at and what you can get away with in little clever motions that you hide with your own hands. So it's employing a lot of the really basic stuff of sleight of hand. Yeah, I think it's a pretty simple one. That concludes vlog number 7.